Welcome to another episode of North Texas Talks, and I am here in the city of Pottsboro. And today I have Mayor Frank Budra. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Scott.
Today we're going to cover your July city update. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
A lot of things going on in the big city.
A lot is going on in Pottsboro. Very, very active.
Tell us a few things.
Well, I really don't know where to begin. We're working with the Texoma Council of Governments. We've signed a contract with them for a visioning plan, which we'll try to put in place here shortly. We'll provide about 12 people for the visioning plan. We'll work on city projects and city attributes, the things that we have in place, and try to plan our future. And this is something that most cities try to do on a fairly routine basis. And we're kind of excited about that. We can plot our direction, where we're going, and what we need to do.
Is working with TCOG, Texoma Council of Governments, is that something that Pottsboro has done on a regular basis for a long period of time, or is this something new, or how does that work?
No, we've been a member city forever. The Texoma Council of Governments is a very broad-serving organization. They serve other functions besides just cities. But our membership in the COG, we call it the COG, it gives us a lot of benefits. We have access to professional services and professional offices that we ordinarily would not have. So it's a big benefit to us.
Cool.
And we're looking forward to this visioning. The last visioning process was done, some 15 years ago. And some of the things were put in place. Some of the suggestions or plans proved not to be doable, but we have learned from that, and we'll probably use that same pattern as we go into this one.
And a visioning process, is that looking to the future about what we want the area to look like?
Exactly. Well, it looks at, first of all, what you have. There are some things we can't change. We won't have a ski resort in Pottsboro. That's not going to happen. But we do have a very nice lake nearby. We have access to colleges. We have access to two really superlative hospitals. So you try to make the best use of what facilities that are available to you. And in conjunction with that, we are also a certified retirement community for the state of Texas. And that has been advertised throughout the state. And people who intend to retire and go someplace in their retirement hopefully we'll choose a place like Pottsboro based on what we have to offer them. Housing has gone rampant in Pottsboro. I'll get into some numbers here in a moment. We've been approached by some developers to establish a TIF, a TIF, tax increment zone. And basically what that does is you take an area, you incorporate that as a TIF zone, and the property tax in that area is frozen at a set value for the first of the year. Then any increases to that property over the next 20 years perhaps, part of that goes back to the developer. This is just, it helps spur development, helps pay for their infrastructure. This is a good tool. A lot of cities use it. There are a number of people in this area that have done TIFs, and they're good for the city and they're good for the developer, and it helps us get more development in our city. Speaking of development, it seems like we have houses going up everywhere. We have approximately 191 houses coming into Pottsboro within the city, and another 75 or so outside the city in our extraterritorial jurisdiction. Now, the houses in the ETJ will not be part of our tax structure. However, we will sell them water and sewer services. The ones inside the city, they're planned developments, and hopefully we can help them get established, and it'll be something meaningful for the city. It's not just something thrown up helter-skelter without any rhyme or reason. So we're excited about that.
I understand from the water side, you also have a water well project.
We're in the process of becoming licensed, if you will, or permitted to drill a municipal water well. Those that have drilled a water well for residential use or agriculture use is a fairly straightforward procedure. Someone digs a hole in the ground, you put a pump down there, and you pump water. It's not quite that simple when it's a municipal water well, because now we're serving people We're serving people within our community, and the requirements are stringent, to say the least. The Texas Environmental Quality Commission has to approve all of our procedures. They have to approve the procedure of drilling and how it's certified as a municipal well. This is going to be an expensive proposition, but in as much as we purchase a lot of our water from Denison to supplement our wells, this will help us maybe save money on our purchases. And we have great well water in the Pottsboro area. The water here is very, very good.
Can you tell us about where you're looking for the well? Or is that a super top secret?
No, we have an input tank where the water line comes in from the city of Denison. It's over here, we call it the Darter Street well. It's in the area of the Dollar General store. Just slightly to the east of that, there's a large well that sits, a large tank that sits back there. And we hope to put the well in that area, and that serves two purposes. It directly injects into the tank, and it's a good area. The school has drilled a well in their property just for agricultural purposes, and it's a great water well. It's producing a lot of water. It's very, very good water, so we're hoping to hit the same mother lode, so to speak. We started our budget workshops. Budget workshop is in process now. We'll have about 5 workshops, and at each one we refine the budget a little bit more, a little bit more. We're very fortunate in Pottsboro. We have a staff, a city manager and staff that are just tremendous. When they present the first initial draft, it's very polished, it's very complete. So all it takes is some minor massaging to get it to a final state. We're not ready to set our tax rate yet because we don't have our taxable values yet. We'll get that from the county very shortly, probably within the next couple of weeks. Then they'll be working on the taxable value versus our needs, and then it helps us put our budget together. That's the very next big thing we'll be working on. It has to be adopted by September around the 3rd or 4th. It has to be adopted. Other than that, let's see, we're ongoing negotiations for some road ownership, if you will, at the Brookshires area. It's called the Lake Center Village. No, everyone just calls it the Brookshire area. And there are 2 roads in there that they desire to have the city do the maintenance on them and upkeep on them. They were installed as part of the Brookshire development. Those roads will probably become city streets. And when that happens, of course, we will be responsible for maintenance. There are 2 developers that are very, very anxious to start building up there, and we're anxious for them to get built. We want some more development. We are working on an upgrade to our wastewater sewer plant. With all these houses coming, the need for wastewater processing is going to become critical. And there are certain timelines that you have to meet. If such happens, you should do this. If such happens, you should do that. Well, we're at the first of those timelines, and with all the prospective houses coming, we need to be able to service those homes for wastewater processing. We have done some upgrades previously to the sewer plant that will enable us to easily move into our next level, our next stage. We're not at a critical point. We're not anywhere near our permit levels, but we want to be ready for it. We're trying to be very proactive on that. Let's see, what else? We're looking for a city secretary replacement. This is a big issue with us. Denise Smith, our city secretary, has been the secretary for 30 some odd years, and she has decided she's going to go to a different career. She's becoming certified as a nurse, and she's starting another life, if you will, and this is very traumatic for us. Denise has been the backbone of the city hall for a number of years, and my first reaction was to refuse her letter of retirement, but I was told I couldn't do that, and we're going to miss her. She's going to be hard to replace. That's one of the things we're working on. Let's see, I think that's all the high spots, really.
Well, that's a busy July. Obviously, these things take longer than just a month, but those are the hot topics for the month.
And then we have the ongoing problems that we deal with every day, the maintenance issues, the new houses have sprung up all over Pottsboro. Every place that had a spare lot, has been bought and a house has been built. We have a number of builders that have built 5 and 6 homes in Pottsboro. They're springing up everywhere. And the joke is that don't stand still in an empty lot in Pottsboro, because they'll build a house around you. And we take that quite seriously,
Right.
but we encourage that. This is good for our citizens. We're very happy with the direction that we're taking. We have replaced all of the sewer lines and water lines in what we call Old Town, the old part of Pottsboro. So all the infrastructure is there. It's all been upgraded, and we're ready for almost anything that happens.
Excellent. Well, it's certainly, you drive through town, you see the houses being built.
Yes, sir.
And Brookshire's has been fabulous.
That's been a big plus for the community. We worked hard to get Brookshire's. We courted them much as you would a bride. And the joke was that we finally got engaged and then we got married. And Brookshire's has been good for the community, and I think the community has been good for Brookshire's. They do a lot of business up there. And it's a beautiful store, very well kept, and we're proud of it. We want to see more development in that area.
And I know they've been a big supporter of the community, not
Yes,
not
they have.
just you go there and buy your groceries, but they've supported the chamber and other things throughout the city, and they've been fabulous.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much for the July update. I hope we have some more awesome news, some more exciting stuff in August.
Okay.
So maybe we'll be right here on camera next month.
I'll be glad to.
Thanks for tuning in to North Texas Talks. I'm your host, Scott Ochoa, with the mayor of Pottsboro, Mayor Budra. Thank you for your time, taking a few minutes to give us an update. As always, be sure to hit that like button if you like what you saw, whether you're at YouTube or at Facebook. You share it out, like the page, that sort of thing. And as always, I'll see you next time.